What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metro Fan 12 coming to you with another video game review. And this time I'm reviewing the game Resident Evil, which was released on the Nintendo GameCube. And this is a remake of the original Resident Evil game that was released on the PlayStation 1. And it pretty much has the same plot, you know what I'm saying, with some revisions added to it, you know what I'm saying. And the plot of the game, of course, is that some bizarre murders took place in the outskirts of Raccoon City back in 1998. So Raccoon City, the police department of Raccoon City sent out the Star Squad to investigate the situation. At first, Bravo team was tasked for the job to do it, but they ended up disappearing um, after they lost contact with the Bravo team. So Alpha team is going to the same area to investigate what happened to the Bravo team and all that, you know. So the plot of the game of this game, it has connections to Resident Evil Zero, which was also released on the GameCube. You know what I'm saying? Now with this particular Resident Evil game, you know what I'm saying, with this new version, I think it's plays pretty similar to the original, where you play as either Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine, and either way you go, you pretty much start off at the mansion and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they pretty much like cover the five areas: the mansion, the guardhouse. You go back to the mansion again, the tunnel, and the laboratory. You know what I'm saying? Now, pretty much how the game ends is pretty much the group that you leave with, pretty much depending on which character you started with between Jill and Chris. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you like pick Chris for example, one of the people that you leave with is Rebecca. Rebecca from Resident Evil Zero. You know what I'm saying? As an example, you know what I'm saying? And you also leave with Enrique also. You know. Now, like with majority of the Resident Evil games, you pretty much start off with a handgun and a survival knife. You know what I'm saying? Now, it is worth noting that the design for Chris' knife and Jill's knife are pretty much fundamentally different. You know what I'm saying? But there are some minor differences between how these two play. You know what I'm saying? Chris can take more damage. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he can use stun grenades against zombies and stuff like that. Plus, a Jill can unlock certain doors that's locked. Plus, you can use a stun gun and all that. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as weapons you can find throughout the course of the game, it's pretty much like a samurai edge handgun, flash grenades. That's pretty much, if you play as Chris, you got the stun gun. If you play as Jill, you got shotguns, assault shotguns, grenade launchers, self defense guns, a magnum revolver, a 44. You know what I'm saying? A flamethrower and a rocket launcher and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then there's the rocket launcher too. You know, so not a lot of weapons, but it's enough for you to pretty much complete the game. You know what I'm saying? Now, the enemies that you encounter throughout the course of the game are enemies like ravens, zombies, snakes, giant wasp, and a whole host of baddies and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much pretty consistent as far as enemies are concerned. If you play other Resident Evil games, you know, there's like different types of items that you pick up throughout the course of the games, like ammo for the different guns that you pick up, health items, herbs, and stuff like that. Plus, one thing that Resident Evil is known for is the puzzle solving. You know what I'm saying? So the type of puzzle solving that you do in this game is pretty much different than the other Resident Evil games. Of course, that's what makes one of the things that make Resident Evil so interesting. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as the graphics and level design are concerned, they're very good. You know what I'm saying? I honestly recommend that you play this game at night with the lights off to really appreciate how good the graphics are for Resident Evil for the GameCube. And it's also a major improvement over the original, you know what I'm saying? Because if you played the original Resident Evil for the PlayStation 1, one thing you will notice that the graphics didn't age well. So this is one area where Capcom addressed a particular flaw that was really noticeable, you know what I'm saying? Now, as far as the controls and gameplay are concerned, they're pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And I do like the fact that when you're in an area where a zombie or a crow is at, you know what I'm saying? If you press the aim button, they're automatically aiming at that enemy, you know what I'm saying? So it would be best to use a specific gun against that particular enemy, whether it's a giant snake or a zombie or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Now, the soundtrack and the sound effects are are excellent, you know what I'm saying? And they add to the pretty much creepy environment that the Resident Evil remake presents. You know what I'm saying, from our overall standpoint. You know what I'm saying. Now, what makes this game really excellent on the GameCube is that Capcom pretty much addressed every major flaw that was in the original. You know what I'm saying. It wasn't just the graphics that didn't age well. Yeah, there was also like the cheesy dialogue that was in the original. They dealt with that, you know what I'm saying? They addressed that, you know what I'm saying? There's other things that they addressed in this particular remake, you know what I'm saying? So, in all honesty, I would honestly recommend this game to anyone that's a Resident Evil fan and anyone who owns a GameCube, you know what I'm saying? Now, this game has been released, been ported to other systems like I think PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, stuff like that. But I would definitely recommend this version, mainly because it addressed the flaws of the original. You know what I'm saying? That's why I recommend it. You know, with that being said, I would definitely give this game a 10 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Because the execution of this game is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Along with the fact that with the flaws that were addressed, you know what I'm saying? I would say it's pretty similar to the Metroid Zero Mission and the Metal Gear game that was released on the GameCube. Also, you know what I'm saying? There were flaws with those two, with the original two games of those that were addressed. You know. Now, with that being said, if you like Resident Evil on the GameCube, you can mention it. You know what I'm saying? You can also mention anything that you liked about the game in terms of like enemies that you come in contact with, or the dialogue or whatever. You know. And if, with that being said, if you like this video, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that click that bell notification button for further videos. You know what I'm saying. With that being said, this is your boy Big Metro Fan 12 signing off.